what's going on? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So I think this would be the perfect opportunity to make a video, being that most of the time I'm trying to get stuff done, I'm trying to get it done. But I have this great opportunity to work with my son right now, and today we're trying to change the PCV valve, which is located right in between there. So the problem is the clamp. I can't get to the clamp. You really don't have any space on the CRV because you can see like how tight it is. On the Accords, you can get to the PCV valve because there's a lot of space in the front, but this one I'm going to remove the intake like you would if you were doing a starter, and then have enough space to get to the PCV valve, because this thing here is pissing oil all over. Some of it has to do with the seals by the timing belt, but the car has been giving me a crazy check engine light, cylinder number 3, misfire. I put new plugs in there, I cleaned the injectors, new coils in there, all that good stuff, and it started running better, than it started running like crap. So my last attempt is going to be to try, and I'm the light guy, so I gotta, no, yeah, tighten it, my youth. Is going to try to replace the PCV valve. I'm just replacing it with one from this motor here. I took it off, cleaned it up. I want to say though, yeah, the PCV valve was somewhere on the block on this motor. This is a newer motor, and the PCV valve setup is a little bit different on here. Just the hose is longer on the old motor on the CRV. That's a newer K24. But like I said, I took this opportunity to, you know, work with my son, and right now, so far we've taken out the battery. Sorry, we skipped that. Decided to make a video at the last minute. He's not fully able to reach over the hood yet, but he's got his assisted step ladder. So right now we're gonna take out the intake, the tube in. We've already. No, you're not pull them up. You just loosen them up as much as possible. These bolts don't come out. No, so you need to loosen them more. And so right now he's taking out the intake box. So we're moving this, pull this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and there is supposed to be one right there. Loosen up this clamp. Mine's is broken a little bit right here, but if it's connected, then you loosen this clamp right here. We've already disconnected this sensor from the tube in itself, and we'll come back once we have removed this entire piece right here. Wait for me, Mike. Go ahead, grab it, because all of this is loose. The clamp is loose. This is unhooked. Make sure you always survey around it and make sure everything is unhooked. Is there something still holding it? Okay. Let's see. Let me loosen it up for you. Oh, okay. It still got this bolt right here. That's holding it. See? Loosen that up. Alright. So put it up. Okay. There you go. Okay, so what I want you to do is you're going to sit that in the trunk, so all the parts are not all scattered over and we don't kick them over. There you go. So we're just trying to get enough space so that way when we're taking off the throttle body, all this is out the way. Because like I said, if we were doing a PCV valve on an Accord, we would have a lot of space in the front, but we don't. So I'm gonna try to remove this intake manifold so I can get to this line, clean it out, and get to the PCV valve. All right, so now we're gonna remove this piece right here. Like I said, mine's it's kind of broken, so I'm gonna pry it off. I don't want to, it's kind of hanging on a little bit, so I'm just gonna pry it a little bit to Well, I'm gonna loosen up this a little bit more. All right, so you're gonna loosen up that. I'm gonna hold it. Wait, stop pushing down on it. Turn it. Push. All right, push down on it some so you can get. Oh, okay. Now turn it. I was holding the wrong thing. Turn it. Turn it. All right, that should be. No, you turned the wrong way, my. Loosening up. There you go. Alright, now we're gonna get a flathead screwdriver and just kind of pry it off a little bit. Alright, so we're just gonna pry on it. I might try to epoxy it back together while it's off. Wait. Alright, put that in the trunk. Got that out the way. That's the whole. That's the intake. Rubber. The rubber. Let me see this. Oh, so I think one of the things too why I was causing a misfire was I was putting some oil through the tubing. Go ahead, to get to this idle position sensor, because mine kept seizing up. I tried to replace it, and every time I took it off to put a new one on there, I was getting the incorrect one, maybe from a new. I don't know. I was getting a different one, so I was putting oil down through the tubing to fall into here, which was working great. But the problem was some of the oil was getting into the motor, and I think that was helping to cause the misfire. So yeah, we got that out the way. Now I'm gonna remove the cables. You got to move this this protective thing right here. Bolt here, bolt there, bolt there. And we're going to unhook these sensors. So far we've got one right here. This goes to the intake tubing, and this connected to the tubing too. It just slid on there. Disconnected to the tubing, and now I'm just gonna pop these sensors out the way. So it should be a sensor on the TP, the throttle position sensor itself. See it right there. Under there, then this one up top, then this one here. I think it should be about 3 connectors on the throttle body. I want to say 4, but I see 3. The blue one goes directly parallel. This one goes sideways, the black one, and then the whitish one goes on the TPS, so you don't mix them up. And also, I made a little tool to block off the coolant lines, those little coolant lines that go through it. So we're gonna pop these sensors off. Yeah, so there is 4 sensors. I'm removing them because they're quite brittle, and I don't. He doesn't acquire the delicate touch as yet, but he will soon. So like I said, this blue sensor goes into. I want to say that's the map sensor. This one here. This sensor here goes into the gas tank vent system. I know because I forgot to plug it up, and my vent light, check engine light, kept coming on. And this is the evap thing. So, and then there should be one more sensor under here. I'm not sure that this one goes to. It's another blue connector, but I'm gonna disconnect that. And then there's this little tubing right here. It's a vacuum also, so we want to just pop that off from either end. So got this connector, that connector. Just be careful with them. Push in, then squeeze and pull it out. I found that works the best. So I'll get that out the way. And this is not a real clamp, so you just gonna ease up on it a little bit and pop this vacuum line off. See, it's actually it's holding a little bit. So hold this. A little bit of squeeze and pop it off. So that's out the way. That's out the way. Then we're gonna start working on getting these little bracket bolts off and take this off so we can start unwrapping the cable. All of them. Loosen up all of the little 10mm. Hold it tight. Pull it down. In a sit bunny. There you go. Push down on it while you're turning. I'm gonna show you how to break them loose. Alright. There you go. You have to get, there you go. Push down on it while you're turning. Turn. There you go. You want to save yourself as much stress as possible. You round them bolts out, and then that's going to cause you a whole nother stress, okay? So loosen those up, and then I'll get the magnet and catch them as you loosening them. Okay. Turn. Alright, take that up. Other one. Turn. Too tight. You need this thing, bunny. There you go. Alright, now you can make sure the other one loose. Try the other one now. Make sure it's that loose, so you don't have to. See the other one? There you go. So now that loose. Well, I tell you, this drop light is kind of an inconvenience because it never shines where you want it to. It's always shining in your eye. Keep done. Okay, so you might want to pull this one and that bottom one first to unhook this bracket. So the main, hold on, let me get the magnet. Where the magnet? Hold on, me just do this. Hold on. All right, go on. See there. Take off it. Reach your hand on in there. Take it off. Get off. Why? Yeah, there you go. All right, pull that. Took out this little bracket piece to make your life a whole lot easier. Put that in the trunk. Right, so now we got the perfect opportunity to get to this sensor down here. You want to try to get these little sensors and these holes while the throttle body is still attached, so it can be firm, because once this throttle body is loose, everything starts moving all over the place. So I forgot about this little piece, little breather piece. So I'm gonna take off just 2 10mm bolts, because I'm gonna need the space though. And it's hindering me from getting that sensor also. It's already loose because I've already taken this thing apart a couple times, did starters twice, and like I said, I took the TPS, the throttle position sensor, off to put a new one on there, and they kept selling me the wrong one, so I decided to do some rig on it. And yeah, so this off. Pretty flexibly enough. Pull in my finger. Biggest thing is space in this goddamn CRV. No space on the inside. No space on the outside. Alright, put this in the trunk. Now we're gonna unlock these bolts. So put them in there, so thankfully all Americans can understand what I'm saying when I'm cursing. But that bolt is somewhere down there. I'll get that. At least I know it ain't fall out on the street. You see, yeah, I see it. Get the magnet. magnet best friend in this thing. CRV is so tight. Alright, hold this up. Alright. Now I can get my hand to push in and something I give me a hard time, my you. Like what? Alright, now you look funny. Okay. I don't want when you look back a few years right now, you say, damn, that's a bad camera, man. Damn hard to get. I get you. There you go. Pop that off, and then just pop this sensor off from right here. It's much easier to get on. You just put your hand on it there and put it on. Make sure you put that thing on before you put the vehicle back together. So there's a coolant hose here, and I made sure I turn the clamp upwards when I was doing it. And there's a coolant here, a hose here that keeps the idle air, the idle temperature switch heated up. That's, y'all can look it up on YouTube how idle air control valve work. But you want to pull these, and I have a little tool that I use to block off, because really only one of them keeps dripping coolant. So I'm gonna perform this part. You'll see how it's done, and I'm gonna have him give me the tool once I pop it off. So we're gonna do the hardest one first, which is the bottom one. Then the top one, it'll be a breeze, because I'm just gonna move the clamp and use a screwdriver and push it off. Move the clamp and use your screwdriver and push it off. This is just a little tool I have. Once I pop the hose off, it's blocked off on one end and clamped. And then I'm just gonna pop the hose here and pop this thing on there, and this hose shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so I'm gonna make sure I let y'all know now, if you do not have the right tools, things is gonna be hard. I've learned this my years of working on cars, that having the right tools can save you days of work, can turn days of work into minutes of work. So having the right tools and not being lazy is going to save you a ton of money, save you a ton of time. So I just want to turn this clamp where I can get to it the next time I want. And same thing with this one. See, I'm literally doing these with one hand. Well, I was. All right, come on, come on. Hold on on that. So get to this other hose clamp. Stuff it in the way. You can see? I think I'm gonna turn this hose clamp to face me. There you go. So that way, next time I put it on, yes, there you go. So just slide that out the way. Get a. You don't see my youth, you see? You can see? Come in, my youth. You see?
I can't see.
Alright, so we're getting this hose right here. And I'm just gonna push it off. And the top one don't really, it don't really run like that. It's this bottom one. One of them. Okay, give me the tool.
What is that?
Antifreeze. Alright, mate. Alright, so now we've gotten this hose, the bottom hose out that way, the top hose out that way. We're gonna work on, and I'm gonna have him do this, because now I got everything disconnected from the throttle body, or at least I hope. We're gonna pull this bolt here,
I can see.
this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and there's another bolt down in here. So we're gonna come back once he's breaking them loose. It takes him a little while, but he's understanding that you gotta put some manpower into it. All right, now so we're gonna unscrew the bolts that hold the throttle body on, and we're gonna take this thing in and clean this work on this throttle position sensor again. Is it loose enough? We've already broken the bolts loose, so hardest one first. Hardest one first. If you can't pull that one, then there's not even no point of trying to do the rest of them, right? You need the wrench on it. There you go, you got it. Make sure it's going the right way. Turn it. Is it loose enough? All right, just take off the wrench off it. I gotta learn to be patient with him, because I'm used to working so fast that.
A magnet.
You need the magnet? All right. Yeah, I'm used to working so fast. I gotta learn how to. That somebody had patience with me at one point. Hold on. Because sometimes I get so impatient. All right, turn it. The bunny? Move that. All right, now hold it, man. Pull the other one. Okay. So the bottom ones are the hardest ones. They're harder to see, harder to get to. Okay. You pull those first, because if you can't get to them, then it don't make no sense. All right, so we're gonna take all 4 bolts out. All right. Put the hand on that in my. Yeah, there you go. Okay, you still need to take it off. There you go. Get that. Okay. All these bolts are the same size, but if not, you can just, to be on the safe side, you can mark them with a piece of tape, number 1, number 2, number 3, and just do the same thing with the hole that then come out of. All right, you take that off, pull it. All right. So we're gonna put these bolts inside of these holes when we take them off, so we know exactly where them bolts come from. All right. So pull. There you go. Alright, so we'll put that to the side for right now. We're going to take this off also and bring this inside and clean up the little valve that work in there. I'll show you once I take that off, okay? Alright, so now we got all this stuff out the way. We want to remove this piece. See why I had to take this off? Because see the clamp, how it's set literally right behind the throttle position sensor. You can see my bad ingenuity of putting all this oil down in here got inside the motor, and yeah, I think me trying to doing what I was doing made the situation worse. So all this oil, see, all this oil is this is at the intake manifold, so I'm going to have to clean all that oil out the intake manifold, because I think it's sucking up in the motor and causing a lot of problems. So I think trying to save a couple pennies cost myself even more. So just gonna put these bolts back in so we know where these bolts are. I'm gonna, now all I gotta do now is pull these intake bolts. We're pretty much home free as in regards to removing it. Putting it back in is just in the reverse. Like I said, you wanna, the hardest part is making sure that when you put the throttle body back on, you catch all the coolant hose, and clamp it off. See, it's no longer leaking because I made this little tool or this little thing to block it off. So I'm not gonna say I'm just gonna, because might get here. I realize that we're in a jam also, but I'm gonna remove this hose up top up here. Bless you. So you're gonna squeeze it. Hold it, push down on it, squeeze, push down while you're squeezing. There you go. Pull it back. There you go. All right. Then that's good, right? That's a. All right. Yeah, sometimes these are a little hard to. Gotta sometimes twist and jiggle and come off. All right. But you wanna take it off right here so you remember. You know when you put back the intake, it's right there. Okay. Sometimes you want to take them off at different ends, so when it's time to put them on, you didn't all take the hose off. So you may have a hose, two hose connected at the bottom. So if I take off the two hose then sometimes I can't figure out where go to what. But if I take off one on this end and then take off one on that end, I know that they come off at different ends. Okay, so reduce the confusion. Same thing with this. Squeeze it tight and pull up. There you go. Good job. Alright. Let that go. Let it go. We're gonna start working on taking off. So it's gonna be a 12mm also. So we're just gonna take this. Alright, so a swivel actually would not be a bad idea to get in here, but we're gonna start breaking these loose. Actually, we're gonna switch it over to the swivel. Pull it straight. Hold that firm, nice and firm. Twist it. There you. See, I put that man strength on it. That's alright. You get there eventually. Turn. Make sure you hold straight. Turn. Push down. Push. Hoorah! No. All right. One day Daddy not gonna be here, but
how
right.
How about you put it turn it the other way?
No, may I show you? Hold it. So you can see it. I need to hold it. Okay? Look so you can see. There you go. Raise up behind and look a bit higher. I want to say all the bolts are up top. I want to say. Alright. So I think that's all the bolts. So I'm gonna loosen these up right here. I'm gonna get them because. All right. Just you want to do them? Okay. All right. So all I have to do is just. All right. Unscrew that. That's the hardest one. So you're gonna keep turning. There you go. Keep turning. Keep turning. It's a pretty long bolt. You always make yourself there. So get yourself through. All right. Take that off. It needs a turn. What you think is loose, do 5 more turn. Alright. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna keep turning them. Need the tool. Alright. You have it? Whenever you think it's loose, do 5 more turn. Alright. Long this up. You know, the video quality might not be the best, but at least you can get the concept that investing in my son, and we've been on YouTube now about 8 years now, and you can see the gradual progression from our first video of just sharing, running around with a kite, kite dragging him all over the place. We still have comedy, still have humor, but now he's actually like turning wrenches. So I always say investing in the future is your primary investment. That's just my perspective on things. You know, soon you'll be driving, right? Yep. Soon you'll be driving. So take out. There you go. All right.
Is that one or no?
No, I'm gonna take that one there. Look at that. Didn't even have to tell me. Made the adjustments. Okay, there you go. That now. That bolt.
There's two of them.
Alright. So we're gonna see if this thing will loosen up. I just need enough. Yeah, it's loose. I'm just gotta slide it out. Hold on, bolt that for me. Got it? Put on that. Here. Back up your hand a little bit. There you go. Hopefully, if you got everything. Oh, need to pull this little vacuum hose right here, and I think this, you can see this sensor, so I don't break it off. Yeah, but I think just this vacuum hose right here is holding it. Get the valve closed. So I'm gonna try to get this thing out there way. At least loose enough where I can get to the. Yeah, it's too. Okay, so there is a. So what I'm gonna wind up doing is just taking this little fella off right here, this 10mm bolt right here, so that when we go to put it back on, it's less of a hassle. So it's just a 10mm bolt, and it's two vacuum lines, one here and one under the bottom, and there's a sensor right here. For some reason the connector is under the bottom. But it's the same concept. Push in, squeeze, and pull out. So I'm gonna pop that off. Alright, so we're just gonna pull this little 10mm that's holding this little vacuum on. At least I know it works because I heard it. Yeah, I think I wound up causing these misfire. So if I get this intake manifold out, I'm gonna have to clean that thing thoroughly out because it's just been sucking up oil. It's been sucking up oil. Wind up costing myself. And as a man, you gotta take accountability when you're messed up. So, alright, let me try to back up a little bit. Wiggle this thing out. Okay, so it's connected by the PCV valve. And some smart individual decided to put the clamp under the bottom. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to, even though I got that off, matter of fact, I'm just gonna put a wrench on it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a wrench on it, turn it, and once I rotate it enough so I can get to the clamp, that's what I'm gonna do. Putting it back on, I'm gonna turn the clamp where I can get to it. Some smart individual decided to mess that up, but I'm gonna put a wrench on here. I don't know if that's such a wise idea, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Oh, and there is another connector in the intake for this vacuum box right here. See the connector right here? I want to take that off. I didn't even see that. So it's the same concept, just squeeze and pull. But I want to get this intake completely out, clean all these up. See, I got all this oil in here, and like I said, that was 100% on me. Trying to use oil to keep the idle air control valve free, not realizing that all the oil was getting sucked into the motor and causing a whole different list of problems. So, my youth, you alright, my youth? You cough like a old man. So I got this 17mm that I'm gonna try and see if I can get a little bit of turn, so I can. Oh, this thing here is on there, but I'm gonna try to put some leverage on here and try to turn it, because yeah, I'm gonna set it here. It's a tight fit, but I just needed to turn it a little bit just to break it loose. If you're not comfortable, what I would probably recommend you doing is cutting a hose and cutting it as close as you can, and then it's gonna be a little bit short, but I think this has enough play where you can get away with cutting a little piece of the hose off. There you go. Pull it some. That was by chance. You gotta make sure that wrench is on there properly. Alright. Thank you. Hopefully hopefully I pulled it or it didn't slip. So now I've gotten lucky enough where I've broken it loose with the open end 17. Now I can just rotate it enough. This thing is still playing hard to get. Rotate it enough. Oh, why am I fighting with this thing? It's already on. You're not paying attention, my youth. Shine it like this. I'm just gonna follow it. Go right ahead. There you go. Alright. Unhook it. This one camera angle. Okay. So I unhook it. I'll just edit it if it's all upside down. Alright, so unhook it. Get a little rotation on it. Because it's still kind of hard to fully turn it. So just gonna hold it in place. Now squeeze it. Take that off. And then get a screwdriver. I know this is the hard way, but this ain't no Accord. If I had an Accord, this thing would have been off like a while ago. But these are why my videos on how to are pretty successful, because I'm willing to take on stuff that people don't want to take on, and I'm willing to not edit out. I am not messing with this thing. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep spinning it and rotating the whole entire hose. Like so. Like so. Just rotate the whole entire thing. Take it out and battle it outside the car. See. Come down in there. You can see it all this in your hand.
I can see it.
See it? It's right there. Rotate it. Just twist in the holes first. Then rotate. There's a little washer right there that's trying to slip off. Right there. Trying to keep this washer from slipping. I wonder what's the work hours. See, got the washer right here with the PCV valve. So you take it off. And my son did 2 more. 5. Alright. So that's how you get the PCV valve off. Remember, this little connector plugs on to right there. These little vacuum lines. This one goes at the bottom. This one goes up top, and then you have this that plugs into the vacuum line. And I am going to clean up the intake, clean my runners, clean up the intake box itself, take this off and clean it up. And but for the most part, I just wanted to show you how to remove the PCV valve. I'm gonna get him a thumbnail holding it next to my 1320 banner.